Hi everyone. I know there's no one here yet, but this is very much an impromptu live. It's super late here and I couldn't sleep and a bit poorly, but getting there. I'm on antibiotics as one of my daughters brought home the lurgy and they keep bringing things home from school. So I've had a bit of a bad chest for a few days, but I'm getting better, so nothing to worry about. Got lots of medicine and I'm just going to very quickly show you some things. Hi, Sudha. What are you doing up at this time? My goodness. Um, yeah, it's late here. It's 10 to 1 a.m. and I can't sleep. So thank you for joining me. It's actually lovely to see you. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're well, Sudha. That's brilliant. Um, yeah, so what I want to do for this very short one today, but I haven't done a live in a very long time and I kind of miss them. And life just got so lifey, as Janice would say, and it just got so crazy and stressful in work and stress at home, stress everywhere, poor health as well, my daughters and myself, and yeah, everything just got a bit much. But I am hoping to do some more lives, probably in the night, when it's easier. But like I said, I have got a bit of a chest infection, which isn't great. I'm all bunged up and lots of horrible phlegm and taking antibiotics and also taking some, what you call them, steroids, which is not fun, but has to be done. So yeah, aside from that, I'm okay. Everything else is okay. One thing I have done is I've had to put off a lot of things that I'd planned on doing. One of those things was showing you how, if you remember a few weeks back, I did two videos. One was a pottery video where I showed you my first attempt at making pottery from scratch with Mel, who teaches over here in Wales. She's brilliant. She's up in Abergavenny. But there's a video if you haven't seen it. It was really, really fun. It was actually, I thought I'd be absolutely rubbish at it, but thankfully I wasn't. I think one of my pots almost cracked, but yeah, it was a massive kind of steep learning curve for me, and I was trying to kind of take in all of the information she was giving me on the day and trying not to kind of balls it up. But I think they came out quite well. I want to show you them. I've had them for over a week now, and I haven't been able to show anyone. And obviously, I had to pick them up because I went back and did the glazing as well. So I did the whole different glazing techniques, and there's a video for that as well on my channel at Taslima Maya Art on there if you want to have a look. It was super fun, I have to say. If you haven't tried it, you must at least once in your lifetime try pottery. It's so fun. And the glazing actually. It's quite exciting. It's so creative. But I I did bring them home. She brought them up to a market for me and I brought them home and they would been waiting for me to unbox and unravel. So I'm going to do that here. So I'm just going to say hi to a few people who've just joined me on the live chat. So we've got the wonderful Byron. Hi Byron. I hope you enjoyed the amazing Disney collab. It really was just brilliant. Putting that together for you was brilliant. Everybody just got on with it and just did some amazing art for it. And I'm so grateful to everyone who contributed to that. I was a little nervous running another collab. I haven't done one for a very long time. Last one was, I think, January time when I did it last. It was for a birthday one. So yeah, it was a success. There was lots of people in the live chats, almost 30 people, which is like quite a big number for us. So I'm so happy everybody came to support us. Thank you all so much for doing that. Joyce, hi Joyce, hi sweetheart, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Great to see you here. And Bill, hi Bill. I've been watching your art recently. Your videos are really, really good. Gosh, you're really good at it. So keep going, yes. So let's have a look at the pottery. I know it's not much to do with pouring art per se, but it is still art and still crafty, still creative. And also I thought about maybe pouring over some of those. And I think I might do a bloom or something on one of those. Let's have a look at them then. So you don't want to just be staring at my empty hands. So here, I think this is all of them. And let's have a look at what we've got. So if you remember, when I went on the glazing workshop, there was the colours of the glaze colours were really dull and grey, and didn't look at all how they would turn out after the firing. So obviously she fired it in a kiln, and it was super hot in the kiln. And although it was white initially, this is how one of them has turned out. Now look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I actually can't believe it's got my name on the bottom. I can't believe I actually made this. I'm just, wow, it's perfect. It's got this gorgeous blue, and it's just so tactile and so lovely to touch. You know, I just want to keep touching it. It's just really lovely finish to it. Just so smooth, so glossy, and I really, really like it. And it's not quite uniform, and that's the beauty of pottery, isn't it? The fact that it's handmade, the fact that it's made by you, yours truly, and the fact that it's imperfectly beautiful, like all of us. We're all imperfectly beautiful, each and every one of us, and this is what pottery does as well. It just takes you back to that kind of like grassroots level of when things were really simple. You know, there was no Facebook or social media or any of that stuff. It was all about making things with your hands and bartering them in the market, and you know, just exchanging products for each other's handmade products. And back when times were really simple and just down to earth, I think. um you know, I'm from an agricultural background in terms of like when I was growing up, I was on a farm in Bangladesh with my grandparents, and it was just very rural and agricultural, and you know, you grew your own produce and you sold it in the market, and you had, you know, farm hands and things. So for me, making something like this, it just, I remember as a child actually when we went over there, I think I was about 8 years old, and there was loads of like muddy clay outside our village home, and we dug it all up. The kids and me would just dug it all up and made little tiny pots out of it, and we were told by the girls who used to work for us that we had to leave it out in the baking hot sun, and it would bake it, and it did bake these little tiny pots and saucers that we made out of the mud and the clay, and then we would play with them. So it just reminded me of that a lot. So yeah, I love that. That's perfect. It's just really nice for a little sauce, you know, putting sauces and things into that. So let's look at the next one. Hi Garrick, how are you doing? I haven't heard off you for ages, Garrick. And a little birdie tells me that you've got a video coming out, unless you've already released it. You've got a video coming out soon, and I can't wait to see it because we've missed you. You've been traveling or something, have you? So Byron's saying you're going to love my surprise on Christmas Eve morning, keeping it a secret. Oh, look at you teasing us, Byron. I can't wait to see what it is. I'll be keeping an eye on your channel. So this is the next one, and I used this what do you call it, to what's it called now? You know, like I've forgotten a minute, it'll come to me in a minute. But just to kind of draw onto resist, is it called? Glazing resist. And I drew that on with a brush, these patterns, and you couldn't see it because it was kind of transparent, so I couldn't really see what I was drawing at the time with this tiny brush, and the brush wasn't really minute enough either. But look how beautiful that's turned out. So what's happened is that's resisted the glaze, the liquid glaze. So when I dipped this into the bucket, into the glaze, when if you saw that video, I used my tongs to hold the bowl in its unfinished state as dry, and then I kind of dipped it into the glaze right through the bucket and quickly lifted it out, and this kind of resist, obviously it didn't go on the resist, so it's created this beautiful pattern across the top, which is what I was experimenting with. And it's all about experimentation, isn't it? Whether you're acrylic pouring, doing mixed media, or pottery even, it's about experimenting. And I love the colour on this as well. It's much more muted. It's a more natural kind of earthy tone, and that's really nice. And I remember putting in that kind of swirl at the bottom. I was really nervous doing that on the pottery wheel because it was turning, and it's just about knowing how deep to go without going right the way through. And as a beginner, you're kind of like panicking a little bit in your head. And although she was a brilliant instructor, Mel was, from Melanie Made Mud, she was brilliant, just, you know, calming you down and just getting you to do it. and you dip your finger into the clay and it kind of brings it round like this, and you do a little twirl, and that's what we've got in the middle there, a lovely twirl. Moose, hi Moose. So we've got Moose Crazy's flowing canvas in the room as well, and she did a brilliant contribution for the Disney collab as well. If you haven't seen it, do go over and watch on her channel. Let's look at the next one then. I'm going to take too much of your time. I know how precious time is these days. So this is the next one. Ooh, this was a double dip. Mel did say I was quite adventurous as a beginner, but I wanted to do a double dip, and we weren't quite sure if it would work, because sometimes if you dip it too many times or it overlaps too much, it doesn't take so well, and it can have a negative impact on it. So I dipped it. I think initially what I did was I poured the glaze in the middle, swirled it around, poured it out, and then I had to scrape off the top ridge because otherwise it would have been like too much glaze on it. And then I dipped it this way, and this was nerve-wracking because I had to hold the bowl, and it's quite hard to hold bowls. I had to hold the bowl this way and dip it into the kind of the white glaze, cream glaze, pull it out halfway, and then I had to wait for that to dry, and then dip it this way into the blue. So you see the light sea blue, gorgeous kind of, I don't know what you would call that. It's a beautiful light sea blue. It's gorgeous. But that's how that's turned out. I really like this bowl because if you notice, this bowl is more narrower around the neck, and this is kind of splayed out, and I quite like the splayed out look. And again, it's slightly imperfect in that it's not 100% round, but I like that. I love that little swirl in the middle as well. What do you guys think? That's what it looks like on the side. The lighting is a bit shoddy in here. I'm sorry about that, but I've had to kind of reimagine this workstation here and put up another shelf to elevate everything off the table, and then my light got stuck at the back of the shelf, so it's kind of half here and half not. Anyway, let's get on with it. I'm just going to check in on what's happening in the chat there. Yeah, I think everyone's fine. Oh, okay. That sounds good, Joyce. Yeah, it is really good. You want to see what Art by Sparkle made? She made 3 different pieces for the Disney collab. She made Cinderella's, I think she made Cinderella's shoe. Yes, she did, out of resin, and a carriage and a pumpkin as well. She made all 3. So this is the next one. I had the same idea of doing the wax resist across the top, and then swirling in the middle, and we've got the deeper, it's kind of a slightly darker blue, and again it's double dipped. Okay, so obviously I can see some imperfections across the bottom, and that's what gives it the rustic natural feel as well, doesn't it? This kind of little, it's kind of, I'm not sure why it's done that. I think maybe I put resist across the bottom and it didn't quite resist it. But yeah, that one's quite sweet because it's really, this one's really shallow. This one's obviously, you can see the difference in the depth of them. And then that one's much more taller. Again, so yeah, they're all very different, aren't they, so far? We've got 4 of them now. Wow, okay. I couldn't believe actually in the one session that how many I actually made. It was crazy how fast it went. This is a lot more rustic, and this is the one where this was what's it called now? I can't remember what it's called. It's called hand building. That's the one. So you hand build it. You start off with a kind of a big load of clay. You roll it into a ball, and then you kind of hand build it out, which is super tricky. I found this the most challenging technique that we tried of all the techniques. And then what I did was I pressed in flowers and leaves and things into the sides, and you can see it's actually, I pressed it in on the inside as well just to be different. And I don't know if you can see that in this light, but I'm trying to show it to you. But yeah, you can see the leaves and the flowers are pressed in inside as well, which is super interesting. And again, I'm not a big fan of how dark it's gone. I think I was meant to rub it off, and I didn't rub part of it off, but I still do like it. It's very different to the others. It's unusual, isn't it? Hi, Sheldon. I haven't done a live for such a long time. I do enjoy them. I love seeing ad hoc. I haven't told anyone about this one, by the way. It's just too much work, isn't it? Going on social media and telling everybody I'm doing a live. I just haven't got it in me, and I wasn't feeling well, so I just thought I'd go on. And lo and behold, the first person on here is Sudha, which is amazing. She's my bestie. Oh, look at this! I love this one. I can't contain my excitement. This has turned out so beautiful. So this technique is called slab rolling, and you basically get your clay and you put it through a roller several times to flatten it right out as thin as you want it, and then that's called a slab. And then you smooth it out with a scraper type of tool, and then after that you cut it and then you kind of shape it up. You can put it over another bowl, which is what I did. Oh, I did actually put a leaf print on the back, but it's barely visible because what's happened is it wasn't indented enough probably, and when I glazed it, the glazing filled in all of the, but you can still partially see it. I don't know if you can on the camera, but you can partially see there is a leaf imprint on the back. I remember Mel going, "What, you're gonna do that on the back?" I said, "Yeah, why not? Push the boundaries." I think she thought I was a little mad, to be honest. But yeah, I thought, well, if I'm gonna do this course, I might as well just see what can be done. And then this bit here, I really love that. I really, really love that. It's probably, to be honest, I think this one so far is my favorite. And I wasn't sure about all the frilly edges, and I was worried that the thinness on the edges might make it crack in the kiln, but it didn't. It's perfect. So there's that one. I'm not sure what I'll use it for, but it's really super sweet. What do you guys think? Which is your favourite so far? We have got another two to go, so don't go yet. So we've got all of these. It's so brilliant. Honestly, I think it's wonderful. I'm super excited. Oh goodness, let's look at this one. Look at this. I imprinted a fern on this one, if you remember. But if you cast your, I know most of you on the live chat probably saw those videos when I was just kind of going mad with it. But this one is gorgeous. Look at that. And the back, I've done nothing. It's kind of raw, but it feels smooth-ish. Well, it doesn't really, but it's not smooth, but it is smooth, but it's kind of grainy smooth. And then this bit, obviously, what I did was first I imprinted the fern and then waited for it to dry a bit, and then I painted with a brush, and this took a long time because, as you can see, all those patterns were really hard to get the paintbrush into, and you kind of dip the dye in and it floats in, you know. And then after I did that, I waited for that to dry, and then I got that resist, the wax resist, and I put that in there. And once I painted it all with the wax resist, then I dipped it. I also wax resisted the edges after painting it green, and then I dipped it, and this white bit you see in the background is where I completely dipped the whole thing. And I was so grateful that actually it worked. I wasn't sure it was going to work and the wax resist would do its job properly because of how delicate these little fern bits are, but it really did work. Look, it just did. I love the fern too, Joyce. Oh, it's hard to pick one. Yeah, you're right, they're all just so very different to each other, aren't they? Where should we pop this so we can see it? So let's pop it up here. Anyone just jumping on now can see it. Okay, so far so good, right? What's next? Okay, so the piece de resistance, the last one. And my other half loves this one the most. I wasn't sure about it at first because it's a bit crazy. It didn't quite work out the way it was meant to. It went a little brown for some reason, but I still like it. It's very different. It's super rustic. Look at this. This is another one. So I did think this one was going to crack because there was, what I didn't realize was that you're supposed to avoid sharp edges, and when I cut this out of the slab, I cut it in a leaf shape, and I put these very sharp corners in, which I probably should have avoided doing. And because of that, if you can see, there's a slight crack here, but and there, and there, but they're only slight, and it didn't go all the way through because it's quite thick, this piece. What I did do is I pushed this flower right the way through, so you can see it's almost at the other end. So I have learnt about what you can and can't do, and how far you can push the clay, and what you can do with it. So this one is super rustic, so it's a beautiful kind of a dish bowl. So you could put all sorts of things in here, I guess. Your car keys. I don't know, anything really, and it's very, very pretty to look at. The background colours, the green, I think I did try and put some green in, but it didn't quite take. And the brown kind of overtook it when I then dipped it. So yeah, I poured the glaze in here, and I rolled it around and tipped it out, because that's why it's not on the back, see? And you're not meant to put it on the back, because what happens is if you put the glaze on the bottom of these and then you fire it, you end up taking the whole kiln home with you, because it sticks itself to the shelves in the kiln. You end up taking the whole shelf with you. So you need to just avoid putting anything on the back, and that was quite tricky trying to do that. But yeah, and there's nothing on any of the backs of these, see? So yeah, so those are all of my gorgeous pieces. And they're all very, very different, aren't they? Look, they're all different colours. Completely unusually different. And I really love them. I do. I don't know. I do know which two are my favourite. These two are my favourite. This is the kind of my style. I think I like this one as a kind of a runner-up as well, because of the fact that the wax resist detailing and the design actually worked. Now, if I had a finer paintbrush and more time, I probably would have done a better design than this, but it's still quite pretty. My least favorite is probably the coloring on this, and I don't know why. It just looks really muddy. But some people love that, don't they? Hi there, Lorraine. Nice to see you. Thank you all for joining. It's really sweet. What was that? Rice and tikka masala. Yeah. Oh, I love the imprints as well. I think the imprints, I enjoy them doing imprints the most, and I learned not to get really thick flowers. I could have cut the flowers on this one, because I picked these in my garden. These, I think they're weeds. I'm not sure what they are. And the ferns my friend brought along. But these ones here, they were a little too thick, I think, and they nearly went all the way through the dish when I was kind of rollering them all in. But yeah, I learned so much. I learned about glazing. I learned about how to do slab rolling. I learned how to hand build. I'm not a fan, or maybe I'm just not good at hand building yet. But yeah, I'm not sure I'll try this one again. This is probably one thing that I don't think I'll ever be good at. There's always something you think that you'll never be good at. But I did enjoy making this one. This one was super pretty, my favourite. And this one, it's just the fact that the inside is unfinished, it makes it look gorgeous, I think. It's unfinished, you can really see the ink, because I used ink in the leaves on this, and ink just rolled into all of those beautiful natural leaf patterns, you know. So, okay, we're going to push this aside, so I want to quickly show you something else as well before you go. Let's move these aside a little bit, try not to smash them. I actually dropped the box they were in. I thought I smashed all of them earlier. I was like, ah. But I didn't, thankfully. They were okay. They're quite robust. What was I going to do? Yes. So I want to show you something that I found in the store near me. And I bought these because I thought my daughters would love to do some crafts over the Christmas holidays. And they're just little, I thought they were really cute. And they're these, look, resin jewellery box. So obviously it gives you a little bit of hardener, epoxy resin, silicone molds for earrings and a necklace, dried red flowers, gold leaf. And now I've got dried red flowers already and gold leaf, But I thought it'd be nice for them just to have a kit for themselves, you know, and learn how to make one of these. If there's gold wires, jump rings, necklace chain, organza bag, and earring hooks. So I thought that would be really super sweet for Sarah or Safi to make this. And you've got the kit there. You can see the picture of the kit. And yeah, I thought, why not, you know, and give that to them as a gift. And they can have a go at doing something with it. Obviously, I'll have to mask them up since it's resin, and I'll have to do the mixing away from them. But here, this is the second one that came with that. So it was a set of 3, which was £12 for a set of 3, and I thought that's pretty good. It wasn't 15, it was 12, because they were giving away 3. So there was this one, which is the floral clay impressions, and I thought they'd love that as well. So it's got the air-dried clay. I also have all air-dried clay, but it's just nice to give them a gift. It's a gift, isn't it? Dried flowers, dried foliage, wooden knife, wooden dotting tool, twine, and a rolling pin. And they could have a go at making these hearts and these circles and then hanging them up. I think they're lovely. Nice little crafty kits for your kids. And this was sold in the works in the UK, and I'm sure you can find things similar. And then the third one, I've never ever tried this. It's screen printing. So I've never tried screen printing before. I saw it and thought, okay, what better opportunity than to buy it for my daughter, tell her it's a gift for her, and then me have a go as well. Because I'll have to anyway to show her, so I'll just sort of figure it out. But have any of you done screen printing? I'm sure you have. Yeah, they can stop stealing my products and coming into the studio most. That's what they always do. They just take things, and I'm walking around the studio usually like a headless chicken going, I am sure I put that thing there. Where's it gone? It's gone walkabout with the kids. Oh, Merry Christmas to you, Nanette. Hi, Nanette. I didn't know you were even here till I just saw your message. It's great to see you, love. So here, what we're going to do is try screen printing. I don't know, have any of you done this? I don't even know what to do. I think I might have seen something on the telly, but I don't really know. So it's got 4 pieces of card, 2 sheets of paper, 2 acrylic paints, 3 wooden mixing sticks, 4 stencils, a squeegee, roll of masking tape, screen print frame, screen print mesh, and instruction. I'm going to need the instruction sheet, I think. God, what the hell's in there? Let's have a look. I just open this thing for a second and have a quick look inside, and I'll seal it back up before they know I've opened it. Just want to have a look at what it is. What kind of stencils? Oh, okay, so these are plastic stencils, are they? Oh, it's a dragon with 2 sets of dragons. It's interesting. And we'll start a sea and a sun, and then Be Kind and a rainbow. They love that. Sarah will love that one, the Be Kind. She's really into that. And what is that? A spaceship. I don't know if anyone will like that. A spaceship and a pizza being beamed down. It looks like a pizza anyway. That's odd. I like the dragons. So yeah, so we've got this screen printing ink, yellow, hot pink, and then electric blue. Okay. The squeegee, stirring sticks, and this thing. Okay. I'll have to have a look through at this and see what we end up having to do and figure that out, and then hopefully do that with them over the holidays. That would be good fun. My daughter, actually, my 6, almost 7-year-old, wants to start a YouTube channel. She's seen I Issue so many times. She's so inspired. She's like, Mum, why can't I have a channel? I said, you're too young. And she said, yeah, but I won't show my face, and I'll just show all my crafts, because she does do a lot of crafts. And there's these lovely, I'm trying to get into some brush painting again, and well, I say again, I've probably done it for a long time. I've just done bits on my paws and things. And then I also bought these. These are those, what do you call them? Keychains. And I thought, why not cut up acrylic paint skins and put them in there and see if they sell at markets, because they probably would. I think they would be great, as well as bookmarks for markets. So when I did the market, I learnt a lot. That is, smaller items sell. I mean, those type of markets, there's specific types of markets for art. I did sell paintings. I sold a few paintings on the first day, not as many in the second, but I sold a lot of necklaces and earrings and smaller pieces um on the second day. And somebody actually bought my skull pod. Do you remember? I can't even show it to you, it's gone. Somebody fell in love with my skull. Right. My youngest daughter was a bit afraid of it because it used to glow in the dark, right? The eyes glow in the dark. And she was like, Mum, can you get rid of it? So yeah, this gentleman came over and he fell in love with it, and he paid £30 for it. I actually tried to give it to him for cheaper, but he was like, no, it's brilliant. I want to pay for it, for that much for it. So I was like, okay. So he paid £30 for that skull. I only bought it for, I think it was £3. So I made, what percentage is that of a profit? That's quite a big profit, right? For a skull. So I think skulls are things that sell at markets. So I have to remember that one. But that was fun. That was for the Halloween collab we did, where I poured on a skull for It's Art by Donna. She hosted that collab. It was brilliant. So, what was I doing then? I've forgotten now. Hold on. Yes, so I'm about to post this out. I keep meaning to wrap it up for my client. So a lady commissioned this and for her granddaughter, and she wants it for Christmas, and I'm praying to God it gets there by Christmas because going to Australia. And I just have to package it right, because otherwise it's going to fall apart. So I have to be really careful by wedging it into a box and putting enough packaging on it so that it retains its shape, you know, it doesn't get flattened or anything, with all the beautiful skirt on her and the flowers as well. So yeah, that's going out tomorrow. Excuse me. Right, so I think that was it. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to show you what I've done to my workstation. I might do that right now since you're here. And this is what I've done to my workstation. Oh, hold on a second. I have to move this. Move my that's my microphone. And this is what I spent the last few days trying to do, is organize the mess. And I know you think it's still probably messy, but oops, my microphone's falling over. So, but I've got this shelf up now, so you can see there's a shelf and all of my colour art products are on it. Okay, so this is what my workstation currently looks like. I'll just go back a bit so I can get it in. There's the lamp thing at the top. It's in a bay window in my office. My laptop's over there just so I can see what you guys are saying, even though it's quite small, the screen. So I've put all of my colour art pigments, Vivid Intense, Purely Pigments, Prism Pours across the top here, and it's so much more easier to see. And as you can see, I haven't had, because I've been quite poorly, I haven't had time to paint much. And I intend to hopefully start painting with all these things. I've got all my deco art stuff here as well, and down the bottom I've got paints mixed up in these tubes. And other things I really need, like the pouring mediums and Liquitex stuff at hand here as well. So yeah, it's just, organising is a right pain, isn't it? It's just yeah, so I've got all of my embellishment stuff over there as well. And this is my paint tree. This is my paint tree where I'm trying to stock everything up. So you can turn these, by the way. You can turn these normally and find all your colours. I've tried to colour coordinate them, but it is quite tricky. And my other products I've got across here. So I am going to try and organise this all up a bit. It's a bit messy. Trust me, this room is super messy, and there's paintings everywhere as well, all across the walls. But yeah, I am getting there. I'm just super glad that my workstation is a bit more organised in here. This is my office in the house, which is warmer in the winter because the summer house gets way cold. And that's how it's looking at the moment. I know. Yeah, I have used prison core before, but I only had a couple, and I can't wait to use these. Look at these, they're great, aren't they? I know you got loads, haven't you, Rose? I keep meaning to do some painting soon and crack those open. It's a pain in the backside, this this microphone. I've got nowhere to actually put it. But I'm going to pop you back on the stand now. Oops, I hope that hasn't switched you off. What's that happened now? Okay, so yeah, I've got to be careful with this. So anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, guys. I'm going to go now, and I know you really need to sleep, my love. Oh, you're starting your day. Goodness. Okay, I hope you slept enough. Thank you, Lorraine. Oh, thank you, Byron, and thank you, Moose. And yeah, I have to love you and leave you. I have to actually get back to bed. It's 1:20 a.m. So kids will be up at the crack of dawn, obviously. So yeah, thank you all. Love you all. I really appreciate you being here with me and sharing some of these things. Bye for now.